The mayor of Minneapolis, really no better than that lieutenant governor. Jacob Frey, whatever. He comes out. He does the Norm Macdonald bit. Norm Macdonald had this bit where he said, my greatest fear is that a jihadi will get a dirty bomb and explode it over a major city, killing tens of millions of people, because then the blowback against peaceful Muslims would be terrible. That was the joke, and the people on the panel didn't get the joke. They said, yeah, we agree. I said, okay, moving on. Jacob Frey, the mayor of Minneapolis, did that joke. He said, as a school full of as a church full of little Catholic school children was just shot up by a trans maniac at killing 2 little kids, an 8-year-old and a 10-year-old, and wounding over a dozen others. The most important thing we can focus on now is not criticizing transgenderism.
And I have heard about a whole lot of hate that's being directed at our trans community. Anybody who is using this as an opportunity to villainize our trans community or any other community out there has lost their sense of common humanity. We should not be operating out of a place of hate for anyone. We should be operating from a place of love for our kids.
If you in any way criticize transgenderism right now, you are just a hateful person. We need to affirm the trans kids. Well, look what affirming the trans kids got you, buddy. Look what affirming the trans kids got. Do you think maybe if you had put this psycho into therapy and spiritual counseling and had someone do the opposite of what you did? Yeah, what you did is you said, hey, buddy, yeah, you're really a chick. That's cool. Yeah, you bet. Gobble up all those drugs, imbibe all of those delusions. Yeah, that'll help you. No evidence whatsoever that works. You think that's charitable? Is that charitable to the kids who were killed? Is that charitable to that guy, the guy in his 20s who killed the kids and killed himself? I don't think it's charitable at all. I think it's this politician and people like him who are not making common cause with humanity. I think charity is clarity. And I think this guy's a liar, and he's worse than a liar. He then goes, one of his very first statements is subtly but clearly to mock the victims for praying.
And don't just say this is about thoughts and prayers right now. These kids were literally praying. It was the first week of school. They were in a church.
There is no difference between what he said and what the shooter wrote on his magazine. You notice that? Because what he is saying is, where's your God? You stupid little kids. You stupid little kids, you were praying. You went to church, you went to the holy sacrifice of the Mass to pray to God. Where's your God now? That's what he's saying. That's the same thing the shooter said. Same thing the shooter wrote on the magazine. Nauseating. A disgusting person. And an incoherent person, mind you. Because if you can get past the nausea, if you can push your lunch back down after listening to that bile, you have to ask yourself, what point is he making? The point that he's making is, don't pray to God. Don't ask intercessory prayer. Don't pray in a way that is even merely to bind your sufferings to the sufferings of Christ, merely, I say. Don't pray in such a way that is to conform your will to the will of God and help you grow in sanctity and virtue. Don't do any of that. We need political action. This is enough of this prayer. We need political action. Buddy, you're already the mayor. You're the mayor. They elected you. Not only are you the mayor, your entire state is run by your political party. It's Minnesota. Minnesota. That's the only state that Mondale won over Reagan in 84. Reagan wins 49 states. Minnesota is the one blue state. Minnesota is as Democrat as any state in the country. You control the whole thing. Where are you? I thought your promise was, if you stop praying, stop, going along with your silly religious delusions, and you just elect us, we, the competent progressives, we're going to solve all your problems. Well, where were you? Where were you at Annunciation Church? Looks like you failed. You have the temerity to accuse God of failing. You have the temerity to accuse the prayers of little kids of not being efficacious? Where the hell were you? You didn't do anything. And in fact, your political leaders denied security to the church and to the schools. It so boggles the mind. It so rattles the conscience. And it is a clear reminder that there is a connection, not even between the religion and the ideology and the identity and the political action, that there is a connection between sin and the intellect. Sin darkens the intellect. So much so that we're the most advanced culture ever. We're the most advanced culture ever. We can put satellites into outer space. We can put a man on the moon. We have magical devices in our pockets that let us communicate with anyone on the other side of the world. And we don't know the difference between a man and a woman anymore. And we're going to encourage people into delusion and despair and deeply demonic things because we can't even tell the most basic aspects of human nature anymore. Whatever this is, whatever political order we're in right now, I think we need to turn around. I think people have sensed that for a long time, and I think we've now reached the culmination of all of those errors that we have been increasingly frustrated with. And these people, they need to leave public office. And these ideologies, they need to be eliminated from public life. We can no longer tolerate those ideologies and those identities. And we need to get back to normal. And we need to figure out who we are. And the only way you're going to figure out who you are is by looking at the being who is being himself, who is I am that I am. Before you go, make sure that you like and subscribe to this channel, and you will get many, many more videos. See you next time.